always wanted to say that.
Hey guys, so Lloyd here, back again with another edition of Throwback Thursdays, and I believe we're on number 16, if I'm not mistaken. But today, because it is that time of year, and this guy's very fitting, we're taking a look at the Kenner Gargoyles Hardwired Coldstone. That's right, the Frankenstein of the Gargoyles, who started off as a bad guy, then became more of a confused character because he kind of has multiple personalities within himself, and then he became a full-blown good guy that they didn't really explore much with because the show got canceled. That, and it got moved to NBC, who can't write for crap, at least not with a continuity like Gargoyles. So, yeah. At least I believe it was NBC. Maybe it was ABC. It was something BC. That doesn't mean before Christ either. So, with that being said, disclaimer, full disclaimer, this is most likely my favorite figure from the Gargoyles line by Kenner, and one I hope we see NECA tackle at some point in the near to distant future, because unlike characters like Goliath, Demona, and the rest of the Manhattan Clan, this guy does not really need alternate wings, so he'd be a little bit more affordable in the long run, because they'd only have to do him like maybe one or two times, and they wouldn't really need to change much with him, shy of maybe some head sculpts and arm attachments, because he does have quite the go-go gadget features on him, if you know what I mean. But this character, I always liked Coldstone, the show, voiced by Mr. Michael Dorn, a.k.a. Worf from Star Trek Next Generation, and Weasel from I Am Weasel, if you're familiar with that goofy show. It's kind of a spin-off of Cow and Chicken, I believe, which I just mentioned in my Marvel Legends Thanos review. So, yeah, lots of oddball early 2000s, late 90s cartoon references this week. But, you know what? Nothing wrong with that. But just look at this dude. They went to town on this dude. He's got sculpt all over him, like the techie bits, and then he's got the flesh bits, and then he's got some armor here, some frickin' 90s strap things on this arm a la Rob Liefeld. I mean, he's got it all going on, man. He's got a ball on his tail. I don't really know what the significance of that is. There's some gargoyles that do have like a little ball on the end of their tail, and I don't see the point. I guess you could smack someone with it, but it's not even spiked, so it wouldn't do that much, I would think. He's got the cyborg kind of head sculpt. Look at that head sculpt, man. That is an immense head sculpt for, what, 95, 96? Show ended in 97. A couple months before I was conceived, actually, so there is that. And then you got his super techie wings. They got all the bolts sculpted in there. He's got these weird little razor blade things that pop out the side. I don't know if he had these at one point in the show, but you can flip them both out. They're attached with a screw, of all things, so they're nice and tight. But yeah, you can just flip them out. Nothing too crazy. And then another feature he's got is you can lift his arm up and fire a missile. This missile, to be exact, which kind of looks like a claw. It's not too shabby. I don't want to lose this, but we got to show the full power of this feature, because if I remember correctly, it shot pretty good. Not too bad. Not too shabby. Granted, I had my hand in the way. And then he's got the best thing. The slot machine chest. So you can see there he's got... this guy's known as Othello, which is Coldstone before he gets all the robot parts, really. So you see him in the flashback episodes mostly, because Coldstone's not a very prominent character in the series. He's not brought up a whole lot. You can get Othello. And then the other ones are Xanatos, Desdemona, which is Othello's lover, and then Iago, who is the kind of douchebag brother of the group. So hopefully you can see in there. Hopefully. And hopefully we got all the different faces. I'll do this a few times. Unfortunately, I can't really see what's on his chest right now because of the lighting. It's a little dark for me to be able to make it out. But it does have the little clear window there. I will say the one thing I wish it had was maybe a purple kind of section to go with his chest. I think that would have been kind of nifty. That way you could just have him kind of basic Coldstone. Have one that's a little bit more show accurate. Because I have seen people paint over this gimmick. Which I think this gimmick's kind of cool. It definitely works with the character. What face is it on now? I can't really tell. I think that one was Xanatos. I think we're back on Othello now. If not, I'll fix it. I'll fix it at some point. But as far as articulation on this guy goes, it's basic. You know, it's the same as the rest of the Gargoyles figures. He's got a swivel in the head. This arm moves up and down. And then this arm's actually on a ball joint. It's kind of loose, but it's a ball joint, so that's kind of nice. It's kind of nifty. His legs move forward and back, and then his tail moves up and down, rotates on his butt there. Kind of loose, so I wouldn't depend on this to help him stand at all. Then his wings are on these little hinge joints. They're kind of ratcheted, but they're kind of floppy, so you might want to put some adhesive on those. Maybe tighten them up a little bit. I don't remember this guy being particularly loose or tight when I got him, so I actually got this guy carded. One of the few I've looked at that I got carded. This guy, Hudson, and my Demona, I all got carded. So this is the fifth one we're looking at. Yeah, the fifth one we're looking at. Looking at him a little early because, again, it's October. It's the season of the witch. And, you know, I think this guy's pretty fitting for Halloween. Even though his episode was almost Christmas related because there was snow on the ground. But, pretty funny moment in that episode, too. Xanatos is all, "It's alive! Alive!" I've always wanted to say that. I love this show, man. Especially Xanatos. What a dick. But with that being said, let's take a look at some comparisons. First up, here is Coldstone next to the Stone Armor Goliath, and I wanted to pull out the rest of the Manhattan Clan for this video, but I figured this was good enough because this is mostly Coldstone fighting Goliath whenever he was in an episode, I need to be perfectly honest. And they were brothers, so, you know, this works. Again, I also thought about pulling out Demona, but you know what? She's a bitch, so screw that. And something to note, kind of funny how I did the Bronx video a couple of weeks ago, and NECA just revealed a Bronx figure. Does that mean next week they're going to reveal Coldstone? Maybe. Maybe I should have done Lexington, because they already said they got some plans for him, so, you know, I seem to be hitting these videos right on the nose. Then again, when I did the Hudson video, there was no Hudson reveal a week later, so, you know. Take that for what it's worth, but I think the scale is pretty good between these two. Coldstone is just a smidge taller, just a smidge, not a whole lot. I think they were pretty much about the same height in the show, so, you know, if they do eventually get around to making this guy in that new NECA Gargoyles line, I think he would be about the same height as Goliath. What do you guys think? And last but certainly not least, we have our two regulars, the Mythic Legions by the Mandibulus and the Mortal Kombat 11 Spawn. So with that being said, time to wrap things up. Some final thoughts. Overall, and well, what can I say? This is my favorite figure from the Kenner Gargoyles line. I think it's pretty darn show accurate and for the most part holds up today. And on top of all that, it has a pretty fun gimmick that's a big part of the character. Multiple personalities was a big thing with this guy throughout the series, and I'm really surprised they implemented it into this figure so well. I mean, it's pretty simple when you really think about it, but at the end of the day, it friggin' works. Yeah, the crazy blades on his wings and the gun arm might not be the best kind of added features to this guy, but I think it adds a bit of bang for your buck, especially considering most of the figures in this line only have really one gimmick. Yeah, they come with weapons, but this guy technically has two gimmicks and some added little hidden things when you pick them up and check them out. So I think that's really cool, man. And I do have another hardwired figure. I have the Goliath, who's a little bit more Terminator looking, and I can tell you right now he does not have this many features like this guy. So with that being said, if you're at all collecting this Gargoyles line from Kenner, I highly recommend you try and track this guy down. He is unfortunately kind of rare, at least to find a complete one. Luckily, I got mine a long arse time ago when I was in high school. It was like it was carded, I know that, but it was super. It was like less than $20, maybe 12, maybe even less than 15. So, you know, I kind of lucked out with mine. I hope if anyone's looking for this guy, they can somehow find him. But I checked on eBay for this guy a while ago, and yeah, they're not really abundant. Kind of hard to find. Much like the red variant of the Xanatos figure from this line. Not the hardwired version, but the version before that. It has the gargoyle armor, but it's all in red. I know where I can get one of those, but it's a treacherous journey, I must say. But with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this week's edition of Throwback Thursdays. Stay tuned. I got a little bit more of a Halloween-themed one next week, because I'm not going to do a bunch of Halloween videos like I normally do, which is kind of crazy because that seems to be a thing on this channel. Every year I try to do Halloween videos, but let's just say 31 days of Halloween a couple of years ago pretty much tapped my resources for Halloween content. That was about 2 years worth of stuff plus about half a year's worth of stuff. And I say that because I usually do 13 days, and I did 31, so you do the math. So I'm going to step back from that this year. I've kind of sprinkled in some Halloween stuff here and there, but, you know, I can't do it every year. There's just lack of stuff, lack of this or that. I couldn't really think of a clever intro. It just wasn't going to happen this year. But you are still going to get your video every day. Business as usual. And, again, with some Halloween-ish stuff sprinkled in there throughout the rest of the month. So, that being said, don't forget to like this video, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you know whenever I upload more reviews like this one and show that algorithm who's boss right. And as always, don't forget to hit me up on Instagram at Overlord Productions and leave a comment in the comment section below. Let me know what you think of this guy, whether you want him, love him, or hate him. I can see why people aren't into this line because NECA's doing the new ones, but these are a little more show accurate because they are a bit more simplistic in the sculpt, but I really dig what NECA's doing with that line. I think it's a killer line. It's going to be great when they finally start getting more characters out. We have more than just a Goliath, or in my case, a Goliath who gives up on life and wants to fall down. Or a floppy Goliath. He doesn't fall down, but his torso is kind of loose. But as always, keep the comments civil, because the world sucks enough as it is, especially, well, when you're awesome NECA Goliath. This got a loose torso. And until next time, I'll catch you guys later. Hopefully a bit less rambly. Oh boy.